Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather, and today I am bringing a book haul to you guys. It has been a while since I've done one of these, considering I had a huge moving across country at the end of last year. I was kind of just trying to get rid of books and unhaul and read what I could to just like move things off my bookshelf so I didn't have to move as much books. But I have accumulated a few books in the last couple of months since I've moved, and I wanted to show you guys what I've got. So I have this lovely stack here that we're gonna take a look at and see what kind of things I found recently. So before we jump into all of that goodness, definitely get down below real fast and click subscribe if you haven't already. I also have my Goodreads and Instagram and Storygraph linked below, so go ahead and check those out and we can talk bookish on all of those different platforms, which would be awesome. And then let's go ahead and start into this lovely stack. So I'm just gonna kind of grab whatever and we're just gonna get going here. Okay, well, the first one here is The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. I have read and adored this. I love Brittany Morris. I love Brittany Morris's writing so far. I've just loved this book. I loved Slay by her. So I knew after I read this that I needed to get it in my collection. So here it is. It is just, oh gosh, read it. It's about these two brothers, and one of them, when he touches things, he sees their future. And one day he touches I think it's a picture, and he sees his brother, his death, and he is very shook by this, and then it's just kind of their relationship leading up to everything and kind of what happened and different stuff. I don't know, it's so impactful and beautiful, and I cried and it was wonderful and I loved it. We have a kitty friend joining us now. Okay, what's next? This one I just found. I was at the thrift store, and I've read this one as well, actually. When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. I thought this one was really fun. It had me cracking up when I was listening to the audiobook of this one. So when I found it for a couple bucks, I was like, sweet, I'm totally gonna grab this. And then I was on my way up to the register and I happened to open it, and it's signed, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is amazing. So it says Kismet and Kisses, Sandhya Menon. So I found a signed book, and I think it was $2.99, and I really enjoy the book, so I'm so thrilled. And if you don't know what this one's about, we're following Dimple, and she wants to get into like technology, tech school stuff. She goes over summer to this summer camp thing that's happening at Stanford to learn more about it. And her parents, though, really want her to start thinking about marriage and what that's going to look like in the future, and they want to arrange some stuff. And then we have Rishi, who ends up going out to Stanford to meet her, and he thinks that he's meeting her and they're going to like be talking about getting married and getting to know each other and stuff. And she has no idea about this. Her parents just think that maybe they need to just surprise her with it and it'll be good. So yeah, you can imagine there's some fun antics from there. Then I also, this is so out of order, we're gonna have some stuff from the thrift store every once in a while. This happens to be from the library. They have a little section where you can pick up library books that they have for sale, and they're usually, you know, pretty inexpensive, which is awesome. So I saw this one and I was like, you know what? I have not read a Megan Miranda book, but I've been intrigued by her works and I'm very curious about this one. So this is All the Missing Girls. Oh, I did not realize this is actually her debut novel. So that's cool. So it looks like in this one, 10 years ago, this girl's like best friend went missing. She also broke up with Tyler, who she thought she was gonna marry. Just things kind of seem to unravel a little bit. And now it's 10 years later, she moved away to Philadelphia, but now her father's health is not doing well, so she is gonna go back to her hometown and help take care of him. And when she arrives, another girl goes missing, and she's like, this is weird, this feels like deja vu. We're gonna follow the story from there. That sounds really interesting and intriguing, and I don't know, anything with like a carnival, circusy something on it, like I don't know if that's gonna play anything into the story, but I'm always down for that kind of stuff. All right, what's next? Let's go with this one. The X-Hex. Okay, so this is by Erin Sterling, and this is a fun kind of contemporary romance witchy story. We're following this woman. She is a witch, and I think she like breaks up with her boyfriend, and then she like hexes him, but he goes out of town, and then when he comes back to town, like years later, they kind of run into each other and maybe some sparks start to fly, but this old hex that she put on him is starting to come into effect. She didn't think it would actually do anything, but it is. Now, this one I was kindly gifted by Alita from Alita in the Books. She was so sweet to send this to me, and I'm so happy that she did. But also, a few weeks later, I also got another copy of it from Rye over at Rye's Reading Corner. So I actually have 2 copies from 2 wonderful BookTube friends, and I'm so happy to have both of them because I just am so thankful to have these friends, and they are just wonderful that they sent these to me. But yeah, I didn't quite update my list in time and take this one off, and so I end up with 2. But hopefully I'll just love it and I'll be like, heck yeah. Regardless, I will probably keep them because they're gifts, and you know, gotta love the friends. Okay, what do we got next? Let's do this one. Oh, the one. Okay, so this one I also found when I was at the thrift store and got When Dimple Met Rishi. And this one's by John Mars. And in this one, we're following like, there's like a DNA test that can basically match your DNA with someone else. And they're saying that those people are like perfect soulmates to be together. But I liked this part. Like, okay, so it says now 5 very different people have received the notification that they've been matched. They're each about to meet their one true love, but happily ever after isn't guaranteed for everyone. Because even soulmates have secrets, and some are more shocking than others. So they're saying that they're matching you with your one true love, but it doesn't mean that that's going to be a happily ever after type story. So I know this one's like a little bit more on like the thriller-ish side, but very intrigued with the idea of also having DNA matching type stuff in here. So that's kind of cool. And I haven't read anything by John Mars yet, and I am very intrigued by quite a bit of his work. Okay, here we go. What have we got? Ah, Save the Date. This is by Morgan Matson. So I have read one Morgan Matson book, but I definitely want to read more by her, and I got this one as a gift from my mom. And in this one, we're following this girl. She like goes back home because I think like her older sister's getting married. Might be older brother, but I think it's older sister. But chaos pretty much ensues while she's there. Things go crazy. The wedding planner quits. The house alarm won't stop going off. Just all this chaos is going on. And then she, I think, runs into like an old flame or something, and some other fun stuff's going on there. But it's cute little like YA contemporary romance. I imagine it will be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I didn't even like notice this, but it has this little kind of step back. Oh, how cute. It's her with her dog, and it says Grant Central Station. Eleanor Grant. Okay, well, that is a fun little cover. I like that. All right, up next, here we go. Milk and Honey. Okay, so this is the last book that I got in that thrift store haul. So this is by Rupi Kaur, and it is actually a like poetry collection. So I got this because it was only a couple bucks. I've heard of it before and that people enjoyed it. And you know, I haven't tried poetry in so long, and I was like, I would love to just try it and see if it's something that I would be into getting into more, or if it's just kind of not really up my alley. So I did pick this one up thinking that, and I'm excited to see what it's got. So yeah, I think the last poetry that I read like for fun and pleasure was probably like in middle school. I read like Where the Sidewalk Ends and that kind of thing. But I haven't like read other poems for like fun outside of that, or, you know, other reasons. Otherwise it's been like school type stuff. So I'm excited to see what this one's all about. It says, this is the journey of surviving through poetry. This is the blood, sweat, tears of 21 years. This is my heart in your hands. This is the hurting, the loving, the breaking, the healing. Oh, sounds sweet. Okay, so excited to see if I like this. And next we've got, this was my book of the month that I picked up. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I kind of went through a phase there. I put my account on pause, partially because I was moving, I wasn't trying to bring in more books, but partially like I just wasn't totally vibing with a lot of the picks, and I was like, not totally feeling it. But yeah, this past month there was like 4 books that I wanted. Oh my gosh, I had to like narrow it down. I only got 2 books, but this was one of them, and I've been highly anticipating this one after having read The Sundown Motel. In this one, we're following this woman. She is a true crime blogger, and basically she always has like 2 timelines, and there's some kind of like missing people or something going on, and we're following some kind of case that happened maybe a long time ago, and now we're following in the future, trying to figure it out. And sometimes there's like usually some kind of paranormal type element to it where you're like kind of weaving that in there a little bit. Sometimes you're questioning whether it's actually really paranormal or not, that kind of thing. But I really enjoyed her writing in the last one, so I'm excited to see what's going on in here. And here is the other book of the month book that I got, which is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. So far I've read her other 2 books, The Hunting Party and The Guest List, and did not like The Hunting Party, but I loved The Guest List. So we're gonna see how it goes with this next one by her. This one, from what I understand, this woman like goes to Paris to stay with her brother. I don't remember exactly why, but weird things are like happening in the apartment building, I believe, and her brother seems to be missing. Like, he's not there, and she's like, oh, maybe he's out when she first gets there, but then like I don't think he shows up for a while, and she's like, what's going on? It kind of gives me like lock every door kind of vibes in that way, but I'm assuming we probably have multiple perspectives because that's how Lucy Foley usually does it. Let's see if it says in here. So it sounds like maybe some of the different neighbors will be the different perspective, because it says Ben's neighbors are an eclectic bunch and not particularly friendly. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. So yeah, I am definitely excited to see how this one goes. All right. Oh, this is a big one. Ooh. This one, kind of an interesting story how I came across this book. But my brother bought a house and he moved in, and there's this shed in the back that the owners left like a whole bunch of stuff in, and I found this in there and I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to take this. But it is a very large, big old bind up of The Chronicles of Narnia. I used to have almost the same book. It was a different cover because it was before the movies came out, which I don't love movie covers, but you know, I used to have the full bind up like this, so I was really excited when I saw it because I started picking up like the individual novels, but I'm still missing one in the collection that I was getting. So now I have all of them if I ever want to go back and like read them all, or I want to go back to one particular story or something. I just remember when I was younger, I really enjoyed these stories, and so yeah, here it is. Big old bind up of The Chronicles of Narnia. Okay, the one that dropped was Ender's Game. This one, where did this one come from? I feel like I found it like for free. Where did I get this one? I don't remember. I know I did not. I must have found it like thrift or maybe at the library or something. I know that this isn't something I necessarily would buy like full price or anything, but I must have been like some really good deal. It was one that I actually remember reading when I was a kid, and I did enjoy it. And so I was like just kind of curious about going back and checking it out and seeing if it's something that I still enjoy now. I don't remember a ton about it, but I do remember like some distinct things, and I remember actually, you know, semi-enjoying it. So I know this one we're following like, I think it's like a group of kids, and they're all like together on the spaceship, and then they have to like play this video game. They're trying to win and yada yada. I don't know, something like that. Kind of sci-fi, but yeah. Maybe one day I will read this one again. I think we're getting towards the end here. Okay, so this one I also picked up at the library. It's Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. I hadn't heard of this before, but like the cover just kind of intrigued me and I was kind of interested. It says Alexis thought she led a typical dysfunctional high school existence. Dysfunctional like her parents' marriage, her doll-crazy 13-year-old sister Casey, and even her own antisocial, anti-cheerleader attitude. When a family fight results in some tearful sisterly bonding, Alexis realized that her life is creeping from dysfunction into danger. Casey is acting stranger than ever. Her blue eyes go green sometimes. She uses old-fashioned language, and she even loses track of chunks of time, claiming to know nothing about her strange behavior. Their old house is changing too. Doors open and close by themselves, water boils on the unlit stove, and an unplugged air conditioner turns the house cold, even enough to see their breath in. So it sounds like we have maybe like a possession of the sister and like a creepy haunted house thing going on. I love those kind of vibes, so always gonna do a good haunting. And I believe this is a duology. I think I looked it up on Goodreads. But yeah, I'm curious as to how this one goes. It almost kind of gives me Unaddressed in Blood vibes, like sounds like a YA kind of, I don't know, mystery horror kind of thing. Anyways, so there's that one, and that's it. The only thing that's left back there is my cat. So that's my book haul. Let me grab the books. Hold on. Okay, here they are. All of the books that I have hauled in the last couple of months. That's a lot more than I realized that I had picked up. Oh my. Okay, we lost one. Anyways, there it is, guys. I hope you guys are having a really, really good day, month, year, all of it. And we will talk soon, you guys. Bye.